You are born into a system where your life is already decided, and no matter how powerful you become, you never escape. You're not born with a name. You're born with a classification, a number in the system. It decides where you live, what you eat, what you're allowed to think, and how you die. Before you even take your first breath, your future is already written. Your grandfather made one mistake, or maybe he didn't. Maybe someone reported him. Maybe he just existed at the wrong time. Doesn't matter, because in this system, truth is irrelevant. Only records matter. And now, you're paying for it. You grow up in the mountains, cold air, empty silence, no electricity, no future, no way out. At night, the darkness feels heavier than the hunger. In winter, you boil tree bark just to trick your stomach into believing it's full. You watch your parents pretend everything is normal. You learn very quickly they're lying. Everyone is lying, because truth is dangerous here. And when people disappear, no one asks why. No one says their names. No one looks for them, because asking questions is how you disappear too. But here's the truth. You think it gets better. It doesn't. It just changes. Now you're not hated, just watched. You feel it everywhere. In the way conversations suddenly stop when you walk in. In the way silence follows you. Every word you say is measured. Every expression analyzed. Even your thoughts don't feel private anymore. You stand in front of your neighbors once a week, confessing, not actions, thoughts, things you didn't even do. Things you might have thought, things you didn't think, but say anyway. Because the rules are simple. Say too little leads to suspicious. Say too much leads to dangerous. So you learn the only skill that keeps you alive. Not obvious lies, careful lies, safe lies. The kind that sound true, but reveal nothing. And over time, you stop knowing the difference. But here's the truth. You think it gets better. It doesn't. It just changes. Now you're trusted. Not fully, never fully, but enough. You finally have food, a warm place to sleep, a future, or at least the illusion of one, and something worse, comfort. Because now you have something to lose, and that changes everything. Before, you obeyed out of fear. Now, you obey because losing everything feels worse than never having it. That's when control becomes complete. Not through force, through attachment, through fear of falling back down. But here's the truth. You think it gets better. It doesn't. It just changes. You rise, slowly, carefully. More access, more privilege, better food, better life. Doors start opening for you. But behind every open door, there's another test, another watchful eye, another silent judgment. Something shifts inside you. You're no longer just surviving. Now, you're part of it. You start noticing people, watching them the way others watched you. And one day, someone asks you a simple question. Do you think he can be trusted? You hesitate, just for a second. But that second is enough. Because from that moment, you're no longer outside the system. You are the system. One day you realize you've become the thing you once feared. But here's what nobody tells you. The higher you go, the more dangerous it gets. Now you have power, real power. People listen when you speak. People adjust when you walk in. And sometimes people disappear because of something you approved. At first, you tell yourself it's necessary. Then, you stop telling yourself anything at all, because thinking about it is a risk, and behind every door, there's someone watching you. But here's the truth. Now you're part of the inner circle. You see things no one else sees, files that were never meant to exist, records of people erased completely, names vanish, histories change, reality becomes flexible. You attend meetings, you sit in silence, you agree with everything, not because you believe it, but because survival depends on it. One wrong word, and you're gone. Now you are family, bloodline, power, privilege. You see the outside world. You see how people live, what they say, how freely they think. And you realize everything you grew up believing was built on control. But you can never say it, because here, truth is more dangerous than death. You live in luxury, but you live in fear. Every step is watched, every word remembered, every silence noticed, because even family isn't safe. But here's the truth. You think it gets better. It doesn't. It just changes. Now you are the center of everything, the most powerful person in the country. Millions worship you. Your face is everywhere. Your decisions shape reality itself. You have everything: power, control, absolute authority. And yet, you trust no one. Every smile around you feels rehearsed. Every loyalty feels temporary. You're not ruling a country. You're surviving it. And in the silence, when no one is watching, when the noise fades, you start to wonder, was any of this ever your choice? Or were you just moved from one level to another, inside a system you never controlled? You will rule until you die. There is no retirement, no escape, no ending, only continuation, only the illusion of control. And somewhere, in a quiet village, a child is being born, given a number, not a name. And just like you, their life is already decided. The cycle continues. And the question is, if you were born into a system like this, would you rise through it, or would it break you before you even had the chance? Because systems like this don't just exist in stories, they exist in reality. And the scariest part is, most people inside them don't even realize they're trapped. So if you want to understand how power, control, and systems like this actually work, make sure you subscribe, because the deeper you look, the harder it becomes to look away.